Hey guys, I'm Nicola.
I'm Hugh.
And in this video we're going to talk about things people say about our relationship, both online and in real life. So we are an interracial couple, obviously, and in some places.
Are we?
Yeah, did you not know that you're Asian?
I didn't
And I'm a
know
white
that.
girl.
Am I?
Oh my god.
You're white. Oh my god.
Just realized. So in some places it's not that unusual. There's a lot of places that are quite multicultural and there's a lot of multiracial couples, but in a lot of the world it is not common at all. And we've traveled a little bit and we have a lot of sort of international commenters and that, so we're going to talk about some of the things people have said on the internet and in real life as well. So one that really struck me in real life was, I remember getting into a taxi in Sydney and the guy being like, "Why do you have a Chinese boyfriend?"
I'm Chinese.
You're not Chinese, you're Korean.
So sometimes I check our comment and
Yeah.
someone said, "Are they a real couple?
Yeah,
real
like
people?"
they'd only seen the comics of us.
They thought it's just made. We made
Yeah.
up the stories.
Fictional story.
Yeah, but actually we are same people. We are human beings.
We're real people. Another one that comes up online is the, "Oh my god, you have a Korean boyfriend? Oh, I love K-pop and I love K-dramas and I want to marry a Korean guy and blah 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 blah." How do they make you feel?
Make feel us nice.
Yeah.
Feel good.
So even
Yes.
though it's a little bit problematic, you still like it.
Yeah, because which means people like Korean
Yeah.
people, Korean guys.
I think a lot of those comments are from like teenage girls, and they're gonna grow up and they realize that you shouldn't date someone or marry someone just because they're Korean. But so I usually don't bother too much about those comments when it's from quite young girls, but it's a little bit amusing.
Sometimes we go out somewhere and then people ask me, usually older people
In
but
Korea, right?
in Korea, they
Mm.
ask me if you are my English teacher.
Mm.
Yeah, people don't really assume that
Mm.
we are married couple or we are couple sometimes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's still not that common in Korea. So people will be like, "Is this your English teacher? Is this your friend?" I'm not sure what English teachers walk around like this with their students. Bad
Maybe.
ones.
They
Bad
can
ones.
do, why not?
Okay, the next one is a question that a lot of YouTube couples get, and it's like, "When are you going to have a baby?" And I just want to say, please don't ask this because it's just a really invasive question for people. But the follow-on from that is people are like, "When are you going to have a baby? Because I want to see what your children will look like. Your children will be so beautiful." And I'm just like, you want me to have a baby so you can look at the baby and then see what it's like?
What if the baby is really
I know, that's the pressure that is on
What should
on
you do?
us. Don't put the pressure on couples like us that we have to produce these wonderful, beautiful children like that, because you don't know what's gonna happen.
Some of our neighbors and some people in
Mm.
countryside, they ask my parents, "How much did you pay for Nicola?"
So they're basically asking if I'm a male or a bride.
Yes.
Right.
And sometimes they assume that you are from
Russia.
Russia, Ukraine, or somewhere like that.
Yeah, they find it hard to believe that I'm Australian because in that area, like we talked about this in another video,
Yeah.
which I'll put the link here. But in that area, usually if somebody is white, it means that they were a bought bride and they're usually from one of those countries like Russia or Ukraine or
Yeah.
something like that, which I've learnt to deal with those type of assumptions. Okay, some of the really stupid and really terrible comments online can be from neo-Nazis, right? And it's so ridiculous. So they say horrible things and then they say things about our children are going to be this horrible mixed blood something, but I can't remember exactly what they say, but it sounds like Harry Potter, somebody saying, "You filthy mudblood." You know what I mean? Like, it's so close to like that type of like world of Harry Potter that it's just laughable. Like, it's completely vile and disgusting that there's people like this in the world, but it's you just gotta laugh at it sometimes. Literally Nazis, neo-Nazis coming on and seeing our videos and then writing comments like that. Okay, your turn.
And also I got some comments like, why don't you get a job? That guy, he has no job. You should get a job. You should make some money and support your family.
And then
or
sometimes
something.
they'll be like, you should get a job in this field. Like, they know nothing about you and then they're like telling you what to do.
Job means like big company.
Often it's Koreans doing this, right? Older Koreans doing this, yeah.
But actually I have a job.
Yeah,
so
we have jobs, and so
we pay for all our
yeah
bills and everything, so don't worry about that.
Yeah, I think that also ties into people think that if you do any type of blogging or any type of creative work or anything online, it doesn't count as a job. So they'll be like, why don't you get a real job?
And the thing is, I'm happy with what I'm doing now, so
yeah.
Thank you for
your concern.
Your concern. Worry about me, but
yeah it's okay. So the other type of weird negative comment we can have is the, oh my god, this white girl only married this guy because he's Korean and she's fetishizing her husband and he doesn't know this and blah 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 and she's blah blah blah, racism, fetishism, blah blah blah. So how do these comments like make you feel?
Maybe people think I'm stupid or dumb, but think about it, I'm in Korea, I'm Korean.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. So don't think like that way. Maybe the person who write that kind of comment, I think that person have fetish.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I think also people writing those type of comments, like they don't look at anything we really do. They just see my Korean husband, they think, oh, she's saying my Asian husband, what a fetish, she's just fetishizing Asian guys like that. Which it obviously isn't about. Like, we make a very strong point to be like, this is about being intercultural. We don't like to use tags like AMWF, like Asian male, white female. We avoid all of that as much as possible. And the fact that they don't realize that you are part of the majority in Korea, your home country.
Yes.
They think you're a minority somewhere else, So, like, I understand that there are a lot of issues with Asians being fetishized, especially Asian women, but it doesn't always just translate to every other couple like that. And I think people need to be sort of respectful of people's marriages, and that if someone's been married for 5 years, it is probably not a fetish. And I'm not holding you to gunpoint to make videos like this.
No. There's gun.
Do it. So of course those type of comments are really hurtful because it's comments about our relationship and assuming what our relationship is. And those type of comments accusing like me of being racist and accusing me of having a fetish are actually racist in themselves, because they assume that you are so weak and incapable that you wouldn't know that your wife has a complete fetish about Korean guys or something like that. So in the end, it's not as offensive to me, it's offensive to Hugh, and I think that's what some of those people don't realize. We don't get those comments very often, and usually it's just someone that just comes across something small and says something like that. Yeah.
And also some people say like, oh, that girl is lucky and that guy is lucky. I think both of us, we are lucky to meet each other.
That's the other thing I see sometimes.
Yeah. And also, it's okay, you are lucky and I'm lucky, but, and also say, someone look down one of the other.
Yeah,
say, oh, you are lucky because that guy is ugly. Oh, you are lucky, you have a Korean husband, something. And I think we are, both of us are lucky. And also another thing, people say sometimes like quite mean way. And like say, what's wrong with your Korean? Why you can't speak Korean well? And people has different way to learn language. And most of the time, I speak English with her, so it's quite hard. And we live in countryside.
You're not a good teacher.
Yeah, I'm not a good teacher. I speak English more than Korean. And we live in countryside, and there were only old people, and they speak dialect. So even though Nicola lives in Korea for 2 years, there's no really helpful situation or environment to improve her Korean. So only the thing she can, go out and then go to the shop and buy something and watch TV is the only way.
Yeah.
I should be better teacher, but I'm not really good at it.
You're not that great at
Yeah.
teaching Korean.
I'm sorry about that, but don't criticize her Korean. She understands quite a lot.
Yeah, I think it's really unfair, especially on YouTube. It's like this big competition of like how well somebody speaks Korean. And if you can speak Korean well, it's like, wow, amazing, it's an amazing thing. But everybody's situation is different. And somebody that comes to Korea and they go straight into a university for learning Korean, everybody's speaking standard Korean to them. Their whole environment is set up for learning Korean. That is a very different situation for somebody like me, or maybe somebody who's being an English teacher that are working in these English-speaking environments.
Yes.
And so you really can't compare. And sometimes I see comments online that are like, oh my god, I just lived in Korea for 2 years and I can speak fluent Korean because I went to university and I studied hard, blah, blah, blah. Your reality is different to other people, especially if it's somebody that's 19 straight out of school. Someone like me in their 30s, it is hard to learn a second language at this age. And there's also this idea that if somebody doesn't speak Korean well, that they're not learning Korean. No, pretty much all foreigners in Korea are like learning Korean in some way. It just takes more time for some people. So yeah, I know you get quite enraged about comments like that. It's okay, like I'm still doing my best and I have so many other things going on in my life that Korean can't be the #1 thing. You wouldn't be watching this video if Korean was my #1 priority at the moment. Oh, and the other thing you said was that people always judge our looks. Like if you were an interracial couple, people will judge your looks so much more. It's either like, oh my god, she's so much better than him, or he's so much better than her. We get both sides, right? Quite equally. So it just shows it's stupid comments, and it's like stupid people saying stuff like this, judging our whole relationship on how we look and if we are better than the other person. Like it's this bizarre thing that people do. Like normal couples don't have that to the extent that we have it, but when you're interracial, there's so many comments like that. Oh, she couldn't get a guy in her own race, or he couldn't get a girl in his own race. It's like, no, maybe we met and fell in love and shut up. Okay, if you are also an interracial couple, and especially if you do blogging as well, tell us the weird comments that you have got in the comment section, and we can all have a good laugh together.
Haters back up.
Haters back off. Yeah, I've been watching Haters Back Off for Netflix. Okay, subscribe to us if you haven't already. Check out the comics on the blog and the webtoon online webtoon and
all the social media.
And we'll see you later. Bye.
Instagram, Facebook,
Bye.
everything. Bye bye.
Bye bye.